Hi, boys and girls. It's Miss Cooper, and I'm here for your everyday math lesson. Today, we are doing lesson 4-2, which is on line plots. So I'm sure you're asking, first of all, what is a line plot? If you look at the screen, here is an anchor chart that's going to help us out a little bit. Line plots, it says, shows how frequently something occurs by displaying data on a number line. And when it talks about frequently, that means that it occurs over and over again, right? A couple of other things that are important on a line plot, there will always be a key, and not a key that you use to open your house, but a key like this that says the key is X and it equals recipes. So 1X equals recipes, okay? And it says for the key, it tells the value of each symbol. So each one of these is a symbol. Each one of those X's obviously represents a recipe. Then down at the bottom, underneath this long line plot line, and we know it's a line because it has arrows on both ends. That means that a line goes on forever and ever in both directions. So underneath there are the numbers 0, a fourth, a half, 3/4, 1, 1 1/4, 1, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, and 2. Those are called categories. They tell specific types of data using a number line. Fractions are often used. And then underneath that, at the very bottom, these red letters that say cups of sugar used in the recipe, that's called the title. That tells what data was collected. So what are you talking about? And then again, I've already referred to this, but these X's are the symbols. It says each symbol represents a certain amount of data, often greater than 1. So in this example, 1X only equals 1 recipe. All right, so let's put this into practice a little bit so you can see how to do a line plot. So we're going to use the line plot to answer the questions below, and it says be sure to look at the key. That is probably the most important thing when you are doing a line plot. So you're always going to look at the key. The key is right here. It says that a flower equals 3 days. So this flower is 3 days, that flower is 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, right? So how many days did Travis help his grandma? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to stop right there. And on that one, if we know that we have 10 flowers and each one represents 3 days, for those of us that have started learning our multiplication, we know that 3 times 10 equals 30, right? So then we have 30, and then 3 more would be 33, 36, 39, and then 3 more onto 39 would be 42, and 42 plus 3 more would be 45. So we're going to type our answer here. So 45, and you always want to put a unit, days, because the unit is going to be in the question. How many days did Travis help his grandma? So he helped her 45 days. All right. The next one, how many days did he spend 15 minutes watering? So here are the minutes that he watered. So he watered 5 minutes, he watered 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and 35 minutes. They want to know about the days he spent watering 15 minutes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 flowers. And remember, if we look at our key again, each flower represents 3 days. So I know, because I know my multiplication tables, I know that 4 flowers times 3 each equals 12. If you don't know that, you could do 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, and you would still get 12. So again, we're going to look for what unit we should put. It says how many days, so 12 days. All right. So again, we're using the data from the line plot to answer the questions. Which amount of time did he most often spend helping with the plants? So which amount of time? Was it 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 35 minutes? If we look, 20 has the most flowers. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flowers. So the amount of time he spent the most time with plants would be 20 minutes. All right. And then to question 4. How many more days did he spend 25 minutes watering plants than 35? So we have to look at 25. He spent 3 plus 3. He spent 6 days watering for 25 minutes. On 35 minutes, he only spent 3 days. So when it says how many more, that clue tells us that we should subtract. So 6 minus 3 would be he spent 3 more days watering 25 minutes than 35 minutes. All right, and then the last thing says, what else do you notice about this line plot? What do you notice about the line plot? Anything? I think I would put, I notice that the minutes are counted in groups or intervals of 5. So we start here with 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You could also say, I notice he didn't water any days for 30 minutes, right? And that would be a true statement too, because there's no flowers. All right, we're going to go down to another practice. This is going to look a little bit different. This is going to take data that they've given you, and you're going to make your own line plot. So we're going to jump down to this one, this cute little lizard. It says, use the list to make a line plot. Type an X for each salamander's weight in the text boxes above each number on the line plot. So again, we still have our line. There's our line that goes all the way across. Here are our categories. So we have 9, 9 and a fourth, 9 and a half, 9 and 3/4, 10, 10 and a fourth, 10 and a half, 10 and 3/4, and 11. Here's our title, which is weight in grams. And here's our data up here. So I just start at the left and I go all the way to the right and I input the information. So I'm going to put an X under 10. So I'm going to click in the box and I'm going to make an X and it puts it on there for you. Then I need the next one, an 11. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put an X. Then I have 10 and a half and I'm going to put an X. Then I have 9 and a fourth. Put an X. Then I have 9 and a half. So I'll put one X. And then I have 10 and 3/4. We're going to make our X. I have another 10. 9 and 3/4. 9 and a half. 10 and a half. Another 10 and a half. Another 10 and a half. Two 11s. 1, 2. 1, 2. And last but not least, 10 and 3/4. So I've taken all this data that they had up here at the top and I've put one X for each one of those numbers. Now, if the key told us to do something different, like each X is going to represent 5, then we would change that information. All right, so now we're going to go down and answer the questions now that we've made our line plot. What does the lightest salamander weigh? So lightest means he doesn't weigh as much as the others. So the lightest salamander, if I look at the weights, it starts with the smallest number, which is 9 grams, because it says it's weight in grams. So 9 grams all the way up to 11 grams. So the lightest salamander isn't 9 because we don't have any data in there that says there weren't any salamanders that weighed that. The first salamander that we see that weighed something is 9 1/4. So I'm going to write 9 1/4, and I'm going to put GR for grams. You can also type the word grams if you would like. All right, then how many salamanders weigh 10 to 10 1/2 grams? So we have to look at 10, 10 1/4, and 10 1/2 because those are all in between there. So we have 1, 2, none in this one, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to say 6 salamanders. Okay. What is the weight of the heaviest salamander? So again, the lightest starts on the left, so the heaviest is going to be on the right. So the heaviest salamander weighs 11 grams. Question 4 says, how many salamanders weigh between 9 and 10 grams? So here's 9 all the way through 10. So we're going to count all of those X's. So I'm going to start with 9. There's not any. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 salamanders. Okay. And then number 5, which weight did the most salamanders weigh? So that means which weight up here has the most X's above it. So the most salamanders weighed, we have 2 X's, 2 X's, 1, 2, 3, 4 X's, 1, 2, 3 X's. So the most salamanders weighed 10 1/2 grams. And then the last one says, write and answer your own question. So you're going to think of your own question to ask. And I'm going to say, how many salamanders were weighed all together? So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So altogether there were 15 salamanders that were weighed. 15 salamanders were weighed in all. All right, so that is how you do a line plot. And to get some practice today, I'm going to give you a couple slides below this video for you to do some practice on your own. Remember, if you have any questions, I will have my Zoom link open. All you have to do is click the Zoom link on your page, and that will let me know that you're waiting, and I can help you out. Do your best and have a great